Hello everyone, this is Zooc, and I'm extremely pissed because I'm constantly getting double teamed by retards in free-for-all in StarCraft 2, so I decided to take a small break and make a quick video on how to draw caricatures. Now, caricatures by definition are a type of portrait where certain features are exaggerated or distortioned on purpose to create a comical effect. Sometimes they're also called cartoons, but that's not always the case because certain artists specialize in caricature portraits. I'm sure you've seen them on the internet or on TV. They draw these famous celebrities in a comical way and they sell those for money. So those are not cartoons, those are caricature portraits. I've been asked to make beginner videos, and this would qualify as one of them because if you want to start drawing, this is a fantastic way to begin. That's how I started. I used to make a lot of these in high school and during class out of boredom, and because I didn't write down what the teacher was telling me. But yeah, if you ever find yourself having 5 minutes to spare at work or during class at school, it's a good way to spend your time, because on one hand it gets your eye used to spotting certain features on people's faces and bodies that make them unique. And this is a mastery that all portrait artists treasure dearly. And secondly, it gets your hand used to drawing. You can just draw the most stylized versions of characters you can imagine, and it's still a pretty good way to get started. Now, if you've ever played with a Mr. Potato Head as a kid, that's how you should treat caricatures. You basically form a database of features and then you just mix and match them to create a funny looking character. Now I'm just drawing some basic head shapes that I use. You don't have to stick to these, obviously. The head can be any shape. It can be the shape of your cat if you want it to. It's your character and you make it the way you want it to. The only thing that counts is if it looks half decent at the end. I'm just drawing some basic eyes that I use a lot. The reason one eye is bigger than the other one is just to amplify the comic effect. It's not because I'm retarded or anything. I'm just drawing some noses now that I also use a lot. Again, these are a very good way to start, and is a way to have fun with yourself other than what you do in the bathroom at home, if you get my drift. I'm just drawing some basic mouths now, and smiles and angry. These features are very easy to draw and they're very expressive. Like, you can portray a certain feeling with them easily, but they're very basic. Nothing much to it, really. Now, hands are the biggest pain in the ass for anyone that draws, and everyone knows that. Thankfully, in cartoons or caricatures, they don't have to be extremely accurate. I draw most of my hands in the form of fists because they're easy. And yeah, 6 fingers. I am a winner. There's a hand holding something viewed from the back and a hand holding something viewed from the front. As you can see, pretty simple and not very accurate, but it really doesn't matter. But again, hands are very easy to screw up. As you can see, one wrong line and the whole thing is botched. It doesn't take much to screw it up. And the last hand I'm going to draw is just a view from the front. Feet are the easiest part in my opinion. I do all my feet, or most of my feet, in the form of clown shoes, the first example. But I drew some bare feet from the front, from the side, and from the very front bottom, sort of, just to show you. Now, if you want to go into extreme detail, of course you can draw sneakers and whatever, but I usually don't. I just stick with my clown shoes because right there I'm turning them into steel-toed boots, so they're very flexible. I'm just drawing body types now. This is the average Joe, and this would be the average Joe in America. And right there is my girlfriend. No, I'm just kidding. It's just an example. Now, if you wanna, I usually don't draw clothes when I draw caricatures. I just thought of the body shape and something resembling a shirt, a simple shirt. But if you want to go into drawing shirts and stuff, then there's no problem at all. Just gotta remember that you shouldn't go into too much detail. Like, just the basic things, you know. If the shirt has a collar, just draw the collar and a few lines to show the creases, and that's it. And of course you can exaggerate certain features beyond any realistic proportion, like the huge belly on the guy in the middle, but again, it's your creation and you're in control of it. So now I'm just going into drawing a few faces. As you can see, I'm just assembling all the parts that I've drawn individually to create semi-amusing looking characters. So now I'm just making an old bald guy with a few hairs on his head who is also really fat and looks really tired and has one tooth left and is wearing clown shoes for some reason. As you can see, these are very fast. I had no plan going into this. I just improvised as I went along. Like, I didn't prepare for it at all. And the video sped up at about 4 times normal speed. So this video took 40 minutes in total, and this would be like 9 minutes. I'm just drawing a really evil looking guy there. Some key characteristics, if you want to draw something evil, are narrow eyes and sharp features. As you can see, like the head has a sharp chin and the eyes are extremely pissed, or have a pissed expression to them. I'm just drawing a dorky kid with glasses there. These go really, really fast. Once you get used to them, you can make like 1 a minute, really. So it's just some basic examples of head types and, you know, floppy ears, some sort of scientist-looking dude there. Not much to comment on. Again, I really recommend starting out like this if you've got nothing better to do at your job or school. Though you should be working and learning, but hell, we all know that nobody does that anyway. Probably drew a bit too many of these because I have nothing left to say now. I said all there is to it. And there's your neighbor with a 5 o'clock shade and the beer belly. Again, you can just improvise these as you go along. You know, I might erase his sneakers and give him bare feet because he's too poor to have shoes. So it's all up to what you feel like. But yeah, if you decide to draw your boss or anything, you obviously should not show him these if you care about your job. I'm just drawing a sort of evil looking crime novel 1950s sort of guy with a hat, a few hairs sticking out of his from under his hat. What's nice about caricatures is that it's very easy to portray certain features. Like, you know, if the person has an extremely large nose, you can make the nose as big as half of his face, or if he has a very round head, you can make like a perfect circle. I'm just drawing a sheriff sort of guy there, a sheriff hat. And I give him a sort of a poncho vest that's too large for his body, so his feet are sticking out from under it. So now it's just things that are amusing to you, and you know, there's nothing more to it. If you want to go for the fat retard effect, obviously the unibrow is a good way to go about that. I had a classmate in school that kind of looked like that. I used to beat him every day, and he laughed while I did it. Talk about being a masochist. An evil clown dude. Now the last one is just in case if your sister is turned into a zombie and loses all her hair and is extremely fat, and you just want to draw a quick picture of her just to have his memory once she passes, then this is a good example. If you want to draw something like this, then you must remember that lines should be very irregular, just to show that the character has a lot of imperfections. I messed up the perspective on this one a bit, but not too much. I'm just going with thin lines first, and then I'm gonna thicken them up once I decide on the final form. So, as you can see, it's very simple to create something that looks amusing, very fast, and it doesn't take long to get used to these. Once you have your database of features established in your head, you can just assemble them on the spot without any thinking. Like, these are almost a reflex to me. I almost don't have to think about them at all. In the future, I'm gonna make a few videos on like how to shade these characters, because that's how I started shading. I started with shading just my